Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk today about our conditionings, our associations, our values in our lives, within our lives, and why I want to speak specifically about those topics is because that is where we come from. Those are our roots. They're our roots, and that's what brought us to this point, brought us to our questions, brought us to where we're going in life. However, that's not where it ends. You have the right to grow your own new roots, like uproot yourself and replant yourself. Put your own formula in place and grow yourselves your own life. You have the right to do that. I didn't know that. At the age of 40, did I wake up to know, I can actually think for myself. Authority, oh yeah, I can be my own authority actually. And it was quite a hard lesson for me to actually come to at that late age. And I guess there's no real right time. When the time is right, the time is right, and the time is ready. When you are ready to start learning the new things, you are ready. And then to add to conditioning and your associations are your values. So your values change. When you bring up your children, you'll actually note, if you've got children, you'll probably see, maybe you weren't even aware of it, maybe you are aware of it. You teach them what you value first. And then you bring in other values once they kind of have got those in place. And then they learn their own values. And they bring to you the question of, what value do you see in that? Oftentimes I've looked at my kids and said, why do you value that so much? I didn't understand the true meaning of value until I put value to it. When I was a swimming teacher, having to ask for money to teach swimming or to teach a valuable lesson in life, it was quite a strange experience for me. And it actually showed me really what values meant. I mean, we were taught at school, learn your values. What do you value about this information? What do you value about what comes this way? And I never quite got it until I had to teach swimming. And actually, people pay money and have to use that as the value as to why they bring their children to swimming lessons. I'm paying for this, so they're going to go for the swimming lesson. But they don't actually understand the value of what effort you're putting, the effortful value, the lesson value of learning to swim, how they need to stay safe. That's a valuable lesson. To me, it was quite a learning curve as to the value of effort of a lesson you're learning. What is the value of that? And maybe you all out there understand that one. I didn't. It took me a long time to twig the actual true meaning of value, as opposed to not monetary value, the lesson value, the gains that you're getting from having a skill that you've learned. And I've also learned how values change. Some things are not as valuable to me anymore, and I've moved on, and I value other things differently. The food that we eat. I used to love condensed milk. I loved sweets. I was going to have tins of condensed milk in my cupboards because I wasn't allowed to have as much as I wanted. And then I actually learned when you have too much of it, it actually doesn't taste so nice anymore, and you lose the heavenliness of it. So I've taught my children, when they're eating food and when you eat sweets, when you're wanting nice things, just have a little bit of it. The value and flavor of the food, the heavenliness from the thing you're eating, is actually more valuable than having the whole tin of condensed milk that is so sweet by the time you're finished with it, it doesn't taste like condensed milk anymore, and your throat is burning and it hurts your tummy, or whatever the case is. You need to drink gallons of water afterwards. So the value of nice things, the value of material goods that are in your house. To me, I always wanted a big house. I need a big garden, a big swimming pool. I still value that space. I've moved into a place that is small. Packing space, I value packing space. However, when you have too much packing space, you pack all your stuff away, forget about it, and you don't actually go back to it. So when you move house, you have a lot of stuff. that you move with you. And when one day, how many years later, we now moved 4 years later, we haven't looked at our things, and we've unpacked them, and I'm happy to get rid of them now. I don't value them anymore to the point where I wanted them. I wanted to keep them, put them on the shelves, put them in the cupboard, store them, have them, look after them, keep them forever. I've got book sets. Book sets, I actually do value my books, but they've taken up so much space that I don't value them as much anymore. So I'm kind of moving into giving them to the library where other people can actually get to them. So, when you value items and you value things, your values change. As you bring your children up, you learn that certain skills are not as important anymore. As they grow through their phases, the values of what you want to bring into their lives are very different. And then they start taking up their own values and they learn what's important to them. And you've actually got to sit back and say, is it that important that they learn that skill, know that skill? They're going to learn their own. You can't bring everything into their lives, teach everything perfectly to everyone. So values are forever changing as well. So with the shift of life, you work through your conditioning, you come into your life with a certain understanding, and then you unlearn what you learned or were told how to learn it, and you relearn new skills, or you take on what you believe. You grow your own beliefs, you grow your own sense of strength. You learn that from the lessons and you go, oh, those people do it differently. Maybe I can do it differently as well. What would I change about something that I've always wanted to change or I don't value anymore? You can. There's no right or wrong. There's nothing that says you have to hold on to this belief or that way of doing things. You can change them. So your conditioning is there to give you ground, have roots, and it's a foundation that you start from. Then you grow new foundations. So in foundational development, what I'm trying to help and teach to create is shifting the foundations. The foundations can change. You grow new foundations, and every phase you go through as an adult is your foundations get built upon. And possibly some things change. As your values change, you grow new foundations. So I'm hoping this message makes a lot of sense to you out there.